Happy October. I'm so happy that it is fall. I'm so excited to bring you guys another monthly reset. I just started doing these last month. My September monthly reset was my first monthly reset. I'm obviously not the first person to do these videos. Full credit for the whole concept goes to the amazing girls who have done it before me, but I love doing this. We're going to reflect on my goals from last month, set new goals for the upcoming month, take a look at my income and expenses from last month. So if that all sounds good to you, definitely make sure you stay tuned. And if you've never seen my face before, or for some reason you watch my videos and you're not subscribed, please make sure you subscribe. Let's get into looking at my goals from last month. So if you guys saw my reset video from last month, you will know that I recently set up a monthly goals system in Notion. I love Notion. I'm a Notion stan. So that is where we're going to be going to reflect on my September goals. All right, so this was my goals page from last month. Let's see how I did on these. So my main YouTube and social goal for last month, my only YouTube and social goal for last month, was to hit 1,000 subscribers and get monetized, get approved for monetization on YouTube, both of which I accomplished. And if you want to see more of that, I posted a video about it just a few days ago. So that can be checked off. I'm not going to talk about it too much because I literally made a whole video about it. But yeah, that's a win. For my monthly priorities / my main 3 goals, I had workout most days. So this month I was not as great with working out as I was in previous months. I feel like I fell off of my schedule and routine a lot. There were a lot of days where I was just not getting enough sleep, and therefore I could not justify getting up super early to go work out. I felt like the sleep was more important, and I stand by that, but obviously in an ideal scenario I would be able to do both, right? So I'm not gonna check that off. I did work out some days, but to say I worked out most days I think would be a little incorrect. Next goal was to do at least 1 photo shoot. I did not think that I was gonna hit this month because about halfway through the month I was like, oh shoot, I don't have anything lined up. But I actually did. I literally did a photo shoot 2 days ago. So that is a win and I'm really happy about that. Prioritize being put together, appearance and apartment. I did not do this month. No, I did not. And I don't think it's actually a super realistic goal for me to prioritize the apartment because like I've mentioned, I live with my boyfriend right now. It is kind of a joint effort for us to keep the apartment put together. I can't carry all that weight and neither can he. So it's just not really something that makes sense for me as a goal because even if I pull my weight and he falls off, the apartment's not gonna feel put together. So I'm not gonna check it off because I would not say that I was super put together this month. In fact, a lot of days, especially days where I was working from home and I wasn't filming, like I barely got ready and yeah. So that's a no. So I accomplished half of my goals. I'm okay with that. It's not the best, but I'm gonna take it for now. So the first thing I'm gonna do is find a photo to be featured on my October monthly goals page. What I want this month to be, what I want my energy this month to be. The thing that I really want to focus on the most this month is my well-being. Last month, I fell into the trap of prioritizing my goals and things I wanted to accomplish and productivity over my sanity and my well-being and getting enough sleep. Like that's gonna be a huge thing for me this month is making sure that I'm getting enough rest, that my body is in good condition because I definitely like binged a lot on food this month, like ate way past the point of being full to the point where I felt bad, had too much sugar to the point where I felt bad, just was not getting enough sleep to the point where I was run down and getting sick. I drank a little bit more than I usually do. Like there's just a lot of things that went into this month and me not feeling my best, like physically, mentally, etc., that I really want to remedy next month. So all of that is to say, I think what I'm looking for when I'm trying to look for my photo of what I want to channel this month is like a very self-care focused, relaxing fall vibes type of image that's just like peaceful and reflects like good habits and being kind to myself and self-care. Okay, this is the image I went with. I think it's perfect. It's simple, but it kind of captures this like self-care vibe I want to be on. I want to get back into reading. I just want to like really romanticize October and just have like a really cozy, sweet, more slow month. I did a really good job of like socializing and pushing myself in September, but kind of to the point where now I really just kind of want to be cozy and be a little more introverted this October. For my quote, I'm going to put, you are valuable regardless of your output. This is something that I feel like I really need to keep in mind because I do feel kind of a constant pressure to make more videos, to put out more, to make more art, to just like be progressing in so many different aspects of my life. And I think it's important sometimes to remember like, hey, even if you have an unproductive day, or even if you're not on top of all your shit and pumping out 2 videos a week, like you are valuable regardless. So I like that little message for my YouTube and social goals. So here's the deal. I kind of want to take a break from setting YouTube goals because I hit such a massive milestone and I don't want to immediately be rushing into trying to grow more already. So I kind of want to take a break from setting like a YouTube subscriber goal, but I thought it would be fun to try and set a views goal. So I'm going to go ahead and log into YouTube Studio, kind of see what my views were like in September, and then see what could be like a realistic goal for October. So this is my total views month by month. And as you can see, things have been kind of on a decline recently. So in August 2022, I got a total of 7,400 views versus in September, I have only gotten a total of 3,500 views, which is definitely low for me. And I haven't seen numbers that low since February. This is because my top performing video has slowed down a ton. I would kind of love to see my views go back up in October. I don't want to set a crazy unrealistic goal, but I think it would be nice to shoot for 4,000 views. So get 4,000 views on YouTube. So that's gonna be my only YouTube social goal. Like I said, I'm not gonna set a subscriber goal. I am content with where I am. And even if I don't hit this 4,000 views goal, it is not the end of the world, honestly. I'm not gonna stress too much about it. Okay, what do I want to prioritize this month? So my top goal is just going to be get 8 hours of sleep almost every night. No excuses. So if that means that I have to get up later on the weekends to compensate for going to bed later, if that means that I have to skip my morning workout, I want to be a lot more diligent about getting enough sleep because I've heard just how important sleep is for your health and well-being, and it's something that I tend to sacrifice without much thought, and I think that's a really toxic way to exist. So getting 8 hours of sleep is going to be a key priority for me in October. Second priority, I want to carry over my goal from last month that I did not accomplish, which is to exercise most days because I really like setting that goal, and fitness and exercise is something that I want to be a really central part of my lifestyle continuing for the rest of this year and going into next year because I want to be my fittest, healthiest self, and I've never really seen myself at my fittest, healthiest version of me. I've never really put a ton of care and time into my fitness, and I'm just kind of interested to see what is possible if I put kind of some dedication towards that goal. And the last goal I want to set actually is be more consistent with singing practice. I've gotten into a really bad habit of procrastinating practicing for singing lessons and then just trying to cram like a couple days before. And I know that for me to actually make progress with my voice, I need to be practicing more consistently throughout the week. And I'm tired of kind of allowing myself to procrastinate it and just trying to do good enough at my lessons, because ultimately like singing is something that I want to do. It's something I'm doing for myself. So I'm only really harming myself by procrastinating and not trying as hard as I should be. So being more consistent with singing practice, obviously as much as I can. Sometimes it's a little tough because with my boyfriend living with me, I can only practice on days where he's out of the house, but I could definitely be doing a little bit better with that than I currently am. And last but not least, we're gonna set my areas of focus. So kind of based on the goals that I set, I'm going to put sleep and fitness as my 2 areas of focus for this month. So that is all of the goal setting that we're going to be doing today. Next, I want to jump into my budget. We're going to take a look at my income, my expenses, and all of that. So yeah, I guess that's next. Hi guys, it is time to talk about money. It's been a few hours since I last saw you. The lighting is fading fast. If it gets dark during this clip, I'm so sorry. We're gonna be going over my September budget, how much I made, how much I spent. I won't lie, last month was a bit of a wreck in terms of finances, and I'll explain why when we look at the budgeting spreadsheet. But if you want to hear a little bit more about this type of stuff, I went into depth in my September reset video about this template, how it all works, how I have it all set up. But we're just gonna kind of move through this on a quicker pace. And I actually do want to set one budgeting type of goal, one money related goal. I talked a little bit in my last monthly reset about how I didn't want to set any money related goals because I didn't want to put that level of strictness and pressure on myself. But I think that I have one goal in mind that would be a slight challenge without like ruining my quality of life, if that makes sense. So I also just want to say, while we're on this topic, I think with the popularization of the finance bros of the internet, like Graham Stephan, there has been a rise in the amount of shaming and judgment that we have towards people with how they spend their money and their financial situations. And while I think it's really positive that people are becoming more financially intelligent and learning about the importance of saving and all of this, like, I think that's great and a great side effect of more finance creators. But I also think it comes with a very strange amount of shame, guilt, and just weirdness around money that I think is super unnecessary. And unless your spending is super clean and you never go out for food or coffee, you get a ton of shame. And I just want to I want to be the tiniest part of normalizing like a more positive relationship with budgeting. By all means, I want to be financially smart, and that is something that I'm working on actively every single day. But at the same time, I do want to have a life, and I don't want to adopt this super strict, like rigid, stressful, anxiety-filled approach to spending that I see sometimes on the internet. So that's my little rant about kind of finance YouTube and how that has impacted also my brain. Like, I find myself getting way more anxious and filled with guilt around money than I did before. And yeah, okay. All that aside, both my paychecks were higher than my estimated, which is great. My Poshmark was also higher than my estimated, and thankfully I got a refund for a dinner cruise that got canceled that I was supposed to go on with my boyfriend. So actually, now that I'm looking at it, my income was quite a bit higher than I was anticipating by almost $600. I'm counting the refund as income. Obviously, that's not like something I consider to be an income source or an income stream, but I just count any money that's coming into my accounts kind of as income. It's the easiest way for me to keep track of things. And then onto the expenses. This is where things get really freaking ugly. My variable expenses were off the charts this month, and there are a few very big expenses on this list that I think account for that. One was this photo lab visit. If you don't know, I do photography. I shoot film, which means that I have a lot of expenses for buying film, developing film, scanning film. It is so worthwhile to me, and it's not something that I regret spending money on ever. However, it can get really pricey, and since I took a extended break from photography, I kind of forgot how much of a hit it is to my wallet to be doing photo shoots. And along with the goal of doing more photo shoots, which was literally one of my goals for September, it did kind of put some financial strain on me. So that was a huge expense this month, as well as I had to pay one of my friends for a concert ticket because she bought us both tickets, and I thought I was going to get refunded for the tickets I bought, which we're no longer using, but that money hasn't come in yet. So this is money that I had to just give out of my pocket. And another thing is I had 2 birthdays this month. One was my boyfriend's birthday, which I ended up spending a ton of money on gifts for him. I got him a massage and like a specialty Etsy gift that was also kind of expensive. And it was my friend Ari's birthday as well. So lots of kind of chunky, unexpected expenses that really drove up my variable expenses this month. I have basically decided that I'm going to not have a budgeted amount for variable expenses. I thought I was giving myself enough flexibility by just chunking everything into variable expenses, but like honestly, I have no idea what expenses are going to come up from month to month. I think it's just not constructive for me to have a number there. So when I do create my budget for next month, I'm just going to not have a budgeted amount for variable expenses. It's just too unpredictable, and I don't feel like it does anything for me because I'm not checking this throughout the month. This is more something that I do at the beginning and the end of every month. So yeah, that's how I'm feeling about all of that. I'm not thrilled with how tight my money was this month and how many huge expenses I had. I'm really hoping that in October I can trim down my number of expenses. I also know that my income is going to be substantially lower in October, so that is making me a little bit nervous. So I'm just going to be very conscious of my money spending in October. But like I said, I don't want to feel too much guilt around money. I don't want to beat myself up for having a little bit of a weaker month. It is what it is. I'm still just getting started out in this whole adulting thing, and I live in Los Angeles, a super expensive city. I have a social life. It just kind of is what it is. So my one financial goal that I'm going to set for this month, and I'm actually going to go ahead and add this to my Notion page of goals. I want to make a goal to use only my Poshmark earnings on coffee. So I do Poshmark, which is basically reselling clothes, and on a month-to-month basis, I'm usually getting $50 to $150. Sometimes it's a lot more, sometimes it's only like $50. It's a great like small stream of income, a nice side hustle for me, and my intention has been that my Poshmark money is going to be my coffee fund. It's money that I can spend on coffee guilt-free because I love going out for coffee, but it's an expense that has a lot of guilt and shame around it because of the finance bros of the internet that say iced coffee from Starbucks is the devil. So that is the intention with my Poshmark money, is for it to be a coffee fund. However, over the past few months, I've kind of gotten more loose and flexible with it, and I've been using it for other things. I've been using it for going out to eat, for other expenses, and it's just kind of lost that purpose. But what I really want to do is reinstate it as, okay, my Poshmark money is literally just for coffee. It's not for eating out. It's not for other expenses. It is my coffee money. I think that's just going to be so much stronger. It has its own account that I keep it in, and instead of running out of that money in 2 days because I'm using it for other stuff, I want it to actually last me the whole month. And when it runs out, I don't buy any more coffee for the month. And I think that's just going to help me kind of cut back on my coffee without completely restricting myself to an unrealistic standard. And it's going to make it a lot easier for me to keep track of that. So that is my plan. That is my financial goal for the month. And yeah, that's kind of all I want to talk about in terms of budgeting. Like I said, not a great month, but this is realistic. This is what figuring out adulting looks like on a entry-level job salary. So one step at a time. I still managed to have a little bit of money left over. What I did last month is I moved all of the money that I had left over into my cushion fund, which is just kind of like an emergency fund / savings account that I'm starting up for myself, just for like emergencies, unexpected expenses, like something for me to fall back on when I just don't have the money that I need. But what I've decided for this month is, because I know I have less money coming in October due to some vacation days and things like that, I'm just going to keep that money in my regular expense account to kind of help me get through the lower income weeks that I don't have the same amount of money to spend that I normally would. So that's the plan with that. So that is a wrap on this monthly reset routine video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm sorry it was a little bit of a shorter one this month. Unfortunately, I just don't have the time to film a elaborate monthly reset and get it up in time for the end of the month. But I do really want to do a little bit more of an elaborate monthly reset next month. If you guys have any suggestions for things that you want to see in upcoming monthly resets, definitely let me know. Right now, some of the ideas I have are making a vision board, reincorporating the monthly favorites segment, and I think next month I want to start tracking my YouTube analytics at the end of every month. So like creating a little Notion page where I keep track of my views and my subscribers gained and some stats from YouTube from month to month. I think that will be a cool thing to add to these resets. So let me know if all of that sounds good to you, what you guys want to see. And until then, I will see you in my next video. Also, don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. All right, I love you. Bye.
Yeah, his baby said that they don't got a future like it burns. So give him something worse to kill his head with, make him forget somehow. Might be that another day she would have wished he stayed, but they're done.